What's up everybody? How you guys doing today? We have a really good game for you today. We have a match on Cursed Hollow, and this is a game between Team Dignitas and SK Gaming played during the Go4Heroes Cup number 8 in Europe. And the match was absolutely mind-blowing. Team Dignitas for some reason seems to have always the most amazing games when I'm casting their matches, and today they're going up against SK Gaming. A really tough match for both teams here, as both of them are trying to qualify for the Go4Heroes monthly final. So there's a lot on the line for the teams, not only money but also prestige and also a place in the rankings to qualify for the monthly final, where you then can qualify for the ESL Majors, a league that is starting in February. So let's jump onto Cursed Hollow and find out which team is going to win it in the end.
Okay guys, the game is live, our best of 1 at the Go4Heroes tournament with SK Gaming going up against Team Dignitas. To the left side in blue it is our Ragi on Stitches, Linked on Brightwing, Bakery on Falstead, BZ on the Hammer, Zamoni on Thrall, and to the right side Team Dignitas with Chris playing Vala, Blood Dragon playing Meridian, Nurog on Nazebo, Vainless on Uther, and Sailors on Tassadar. This is going to become a very funny game, guys. I really like it already. We had Illidan banned and also a ban on Zeratul, and this is why Stitches became one of the heroes that we are seeing in the match now. Already everybody trying to get on those lanes, and we have a very cool map for this too. A very interesting hero comp as well. With Zamoni's Illidan banned out, he jumped on Thrall, and that's of course a great hero for him to have, since it's a very similar hero to Illidan. It fills that role quite well. It's one of those melee assassins that can really just get into that bloodlust and the bloodlust momentum and try to take an entire team down if he isn't attacked, stunned out, or focused. And now, as you can see, we are having besides him also a siege tank. The Falstead may be like a choice that on this map is going to come into into a play or into like a suggestion, just because we are looking at a game where you want to be mobile on the map and just go to those tributes as fast as you can. We have also the Stitches now together with a siege tank, which is always great. Interesting enough, there's also now a Nazebo on the team for Team Dignitas, and the only reason why I'm mentioning this right now is not only because we have the Stitches with the potential slam on 16 and the hook against the Ravenous Spirit, but of course the Sundering that we are going to see as the heroic ability on Thrall is one of those hard counters against the Ravenous Spirit, and it's one of those things that we see being used a lot these days when Nazebo is being picked by a team. But in general, I really like the comp that we are having from Team Dignitas, since they have a lot of protection here. For heroes like Vala, the Tassadar is a great asset for any team these days, especially with the buff to Healing Ward. He's absolutely amazing. Gets the healing out there, gets the shield out there, and that's of course something that they are going to need later on. At this point, we're having Blood Dragon shielded here completely. Vainless with the burst heal is also going to help out. Also at level 4, we're most likely going to see a protective shield by Uther, which is going to help with the sustain a lot. Vala for the DPS, and then Nazebo as well. So a pretty cool team comp for both teams, and this is going to be a very tough match for both of these that are going to try to qualify for the Go4Heroes monthly final. Regarding the builds, we have Bright being used on Brightwing. This is going to be great to put some additional pressure on the lanes with Siege Giants that he can get at any point. And an interesting build on Vala. Vampiric Assault is not a talent that you see all that often, especially since on level 1 we already have Siphoning Arrow taken. That's a very interesting build. It's usually something that I would more describe as being a public build for solo queue than anything else. In most of the team matches, you're really relying heavily on your supports to keep you alive. And since we are having Healing Ward being picked on Tassadar, and then also of course good old Uther with a protective shield, I'm a bit surprised by those talents. You don't see that all too often. We have Siphoning Arrow by players like Shinobu used on Vala, but usually that is also accompanied with a Manticore on level 4, and then on level 7 mostly it's searing attacks. So in this case, I have to say I'm a little bit surprised at what Chris is doing. It gives him a lot of sustain, but I'm not sure if he really needs it. But it's going to be difficult to drop Vala here. Burst is going to be key. Nice hook against Nurog, kind of hooking him in his own wall of zombies right now. Zamoni is already down here at the bottom lane as well, whereas at the top there's still this battle raging. Ooh, Thrall needs to be careful. Chris goes in, tries to take him down, but he is being taken apart. That that was, of course, the Frostwolf resilience on Zamoni kicking in here. Job well done by him, getting those spells in and healing himself up. And yeah, a bit of an overextension by Chris on Vala, I guess. But, well, can you really blame him? I mean, that was one last hit that you needed to take down Thrall. And in that case, if he dodges that feral wolf that was sent out by Thrall, then the War Chief would have probably been pretty dead. Good build that we also have on the Stitches, going for a full slam build. Usually these days on Stitches you see more of a tanky build, a sustain build with chew your food and with amplified healing on level 1 and level 4, but in this case it is the slam build for the extra damage, and since he is the only tank that they have, that's a bit of a surprise, but I guess with the Thrall in there, that's of course something that they can pull off. Nice kill on the healing ward here, it's always important to do that as fast as you can, and now Searing attacks chosen by Vala. Very interesting build. I'm curious to see what we're gonna see taken on level 13 and level 16 for him. Could see something like Giant Killer and Blood for Blood taken there, but I really don't know what he's going for. It's a very different build to what we usually see in these games. Searing Arrow, as I said, is usually accompanied by Manticore on level 4. It could have been a simple misclick. Maybe he didn't want to go for Vampiric Assault, and I think that is likely, since the build that he is choosing at this point, besides the level 4 talent, is pretty much what we're seeing from Vala players like Shinobu for Team Fnatic as well. So maybe just a misclick by him. It gives him a lot of sustain in those lanes, but I guess the additional damage is something that he would probably have preferred. But we're not quite sure if it's a misclick or not, but at this point I think it probably is. So Bakery is currently close to the tribute. We have at the bot lane still linked, and this is of course one of the great abilities of Brightwing, just gathering up split experience for the team, and once it comes down to the 5 versus 5 fight, you just jump in with a phase shift and help your team out. He doesn't really need to do that since they're abandoning the tribute anyways. It's only the first one for Dignitas, so they're trying to just like use that for now. Level 10 nearly for SK Gaming, and this is one of the things that SK Gaming does extremely well. They have 2 kills, it helps them of course to get that experience advantage, but just in general they're extremely good at getting that advantage. It's a bit like El Nexo, just that soaking on the lanes that they have really down cold and not losing out on any experience whatsoever. As you can see right now, it's a full Stormbolt build that we're currently having on Muradin. I'm still a bit on the fence about the level 1 talent that a lot of players on Muradin are getting for the additional damage when you hit a target with a Stormbolt. I'm still not quite sure if it really comes into play enough to be absolutely worth it, especially if you play against heroes like, for example, Thrall, where you can counter Wind Fury a bit with a slam on Thunderclap. So in this case, Muradin usually not really one of your damage dealers in the game. He's more for the utility, for the crowd control, and of course for the tankiness, while he's being picked. But a lot of people go for that full Stormbolt build, so it has definitely its place in the current meta. When it comes to the rogue ability, it's the Hinterland Blast for Falstad. We have Napalm being used by Sergeant Hammer, who also relies on the first aid on level 7. And it is Blink Heal instead of Emerald Wind on Brightwing. Not really a lot of additional surprises there. Maybe we should mention that Cleanse has not been taken by Uther. You can even cleanse a hook, so not taken in this case. BZ with a Z, activating the thrusters and moving away. The second tribute for, well, each team, if they get it, is now on the map. And there comes the hook against Chris. Chris is running away. Zamoni! Oh, not really doing a lot. Oh, but he did enough with that Sundering. And here comes Nurok, but he's being eaten with a Gorge. So suddenly he's out of that as well. Here comes the Hinterland Blast against Blood Dragon. Bakery is low, Linked is low as well, but down goes Nazebo. 2 heroes against none. Can they stay alive with the rest of them? It looks very much like it. Another good hook by Aragi, and Zamoni is starting to move in, but the Stormbolt hitting 2 already, and Thrall is very low in mana and cannot do anything for his team here anymore. But there's nothing needed at this point. Level 13 hitting for SK Gaming with 4 kills against 0. They're doing very well in this game. The boss that they captured earlier is pushing the bottom lane and taking the fort down. So already rewind on Brightwing for the double polymorph. Chris comes in and takes down the boss before it reaches the wall at the key, but the top lane is being pushed now as well. SK is like acting as this unstoppable force that is currently trying to push all the lanes in, and they're doing very well with that. Without the 13 talent, it's very difficult for Team Dignitas to really get a foothold in this game. They're trying, of course, to get their kills, but it's very iffy for them to really make that happen. They're quite tanky with the lineup that they have here, especially with the Tasker, but it's just Thrall coming in with the Sundering again, and just look at that flank moving in to take down Vainless, and Uther goes down. Sailors maybe hooked. The hook doesn't hit. Aragi doesn't get it in, but Well, that's what she said. But still, they're doing pretty well with that entire rotation. They're flanking their opponents, using the Sundering to zone them out. And now they're going for another bot. So it was very, very well done. And yeah, let's see how exactly this is gonna happen. Oh, there comes the Ravenous Spirit doing very, very well done there. Oh, do a lot of damage, and suddenly Blood Dragon's jumping in, trying to capture it. Zamoni, the dragon. The boss was actually captured by Team Dignitas. They got that there. And Bakery moves in. We have one down for each team. Thrall and Muradin are currently down. And Dignitas is moving back already. So let's see, up to the top there we have at this point also the boss doing quite a bit of damage there. And let's see what exactly is happening down to the bottom lane, where we have now another tribute spawning, and it looks like Nurot might be a bit too late. He's polymorphed. That was a close one. In the last second he's able to get that in. Very well done. And there comes Veinless, Sailors, Chris and the rest of them trying to capture that one, that tribute. That would be the second one for them though. It wouldn't be too crucial for SK Gaming to lose this, but of course they want to put the curse on the opponent's team, and that is their goal at this point. Are they gonna be able to move in for that? Yep, there it is. Bakery. And there we have Blood Dragon cancelled again, but he's immediately starting the channel once more. Chris is getting pushed away, but in this case it doesn't matter since he got a shield in the last second, and that healing ward is still healing them up. 15 versus 14, it's 6 kills versus 1. That tribute is so important, but nearly the entire team of Dignitas is very low, and they decide to abandon it, to take that curse and just suck it up here. So let's find out if they're able to save their keeps, because that is of course the next target of SK Gaming. This is the only remaining fort that they have, and that is going to fall either way. But can they hold on to the keeps? This is probably the bigger question there. So right now we have, I think one of the problems that we really are having in this game is that those hooks that we could see from Araragi cannot be cleansed by Uther because he didn't take the talent. They really seem to be prioritizing the vision on the map a lot more, and just like trying to determine if there's a boss taken. And I mean, in the last time they worked in the way that they could actually get that boss, so that really helped them here. But now they have also the double sprint on Uther and Zebo. That could help with a good stun preparation from Veinless, and if he gets in, then we could actually see maybe a follow-up stun by Muradin, by Vala with a Rain of Vengeance, and then finally getting that CC that they need to drop 1 or 2 targets, drop maybe Zamoni at the beginning of the fight and snowball it from there. But they are always missing out on a talent, and Araragi is going for a full slam build even with a stun on 16, as now the Hinterland Blast has the use of Overdrive that we can see maybe by Bakery here, if he goes for that. And of course that Wind Fury build that we are having on Zamoni's Thrall is also completed by now on 16. That gives them a lot of momentum in those fights, and I guess this is what we are going to see in just a few seconds. Araragi is attempting another hook there. Could go for a Gorge against Blood Dragon, not taking that. Oh my god, that hook against Norok hitting home! And well, Veinless is already very low. Sundering is being used. Suddenly there is enough time and space for Nurok to use his heroic ability. He could use the Revenant Spirit right now, but SK is already moving back. With the well still up, they are all healing themselves, and the keep is not going down. Didn't even take a lot of damage, so job well done by Team Dignitas, at least for now, preventing the drop of a keep. And it's 17 versus 16. Soon 15 and, well, maybe like 70%, 80% for Dignitas. So if they clear 1 or 2 waves, they should be able to get the additional talent. And that is kind of the time when you really want to fight. They can't contest the boss down here, not at this point. Not with them being 1 entire talent down. You cannot do that. You are just ending up in way too much trouble if you attempt that. And the boss is going to push on the bottom lanes. The team has to rotate, has to try and take it. It's another minute on the boss up to the top. So in this case, they should be able to just like take the boss down and then work with that. One thing you have to keep in mind is that all those forts that we still have for SK in the middle, in the bottom, and the top lane, they still give a lot of experience if Dignitas is just gaining some momentum and able to move in and drop those. So that could work for them. We have 16 now also on the side of Team Dignitas. They could catch up in experience if they get all all of those structures. They are having a couple of very important talents on this, especially for Vala. We are seeing Blood for Blood now taken. I'm still a bit weirded out by Vampiric Assault. I put that down to a mistake, unless there is really some play in the past where Chris has said, hey, I need some more sustain, but he's the only Vala that I have seen in months that takes Vampiric Assault, so I say he wanted to take Manticore and just went for a misclick there. The mid lane is now currently being pushed back. We have a lot of camps taken by SK Gaming, and it's basically them just saying, hey, we take every camp on the map, we push you back, you have to play defensive until you have the 16 talent. You have that now, but let's see what we can do with that. The deaths in the game so far, 2 on Vala, 2 on Nazeebo, and the boss is now up, and there comes that vision granted by Uther, but there's also another tribute on the map. It would be the first tribute for SK Gaming, so there's not really too much to lose just yet if SK takes it for Dignitas. It's more about the boss, that's more important. They also scale over time. Problem is always the hook from Araragi. That can be very, very game-changing if you hit one of those hooks and get a target in, get a good gorge as well. Yep, Araragi is already trying to go for a spot. He doesn't want Mirrodin, of course. First of all, Mirrodin can jump out of that, and a second thing is that he's so tanky that it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to like take him out. Interestingly enough, we have Stone Form trait taken on level 16. What you see quite often on Mirrodin on 16 is now the range on the Dwarf jump, and that is pretty awesome. Like you can just do so much. You can really initiate from a whole lot of distance. You have a lot more utility on Mirrodin there. That passive trait is of course pretty good as well. Like no doubt about that. You have a bit more tankiness on it, but still a lot of players use the mobility on Mirrodin to be more dangerous in those fights and start the initiation. Once again, the boss started by SK Gaming, and Dignitas is on the way. Sailors is already seeing what's going on. The boss is halfway down, and they're moving back already. Here comes the flank from the side. Zamoni, they want to drop him. Apparently they go in. Vainless, he's going for the stun, and Zamoni is nearly dead. Do they get him? They get Zamoni. A great ultimate by Nurok. We didn't see Sundering being used. Very well played here, especially since we had a great healing ward set up as well, but Vala went down in that slaughter. Vala for the exchange against Thrall, and the problem of course is that Vala is the only sustained damage that they really have, but Vainless is so low that he might be taken out, and he drops. BZ is about to die as well, and suddenly Dignitas is attempting to turn that around. We have 2 heroes down for each team. Linked is the next target, and Araragi is low as well as the Dwarf jumps that debris and goes straight for Bakery here, but he's very low himself. The Stormbolt misses. Araragi low too. Sailors needs to run away, and he needs to run away fast. It is a 3 versus 2 in favor of Team Dignitas. They captured the tribute, and since they were behind in levels, they also of course get a bit of an advantage thanks to the underdog bonus. So very well done by them. That was a good fight for Dignitas. Not as good as they wanted it to be, but it was pretty decent regardless. Vala dying at the beginning of the fight was of course the biggest problem that they have there. If Chris somehow is able to survive, then it's a whole different ball game, since suddenly they have the sustained damage in there as well. But given that Vala died this early in the fight, they now have the opportunity to take the boss, since they're looking at 4 or 5 heroes against 3. Then they take that opportunity. They move straight in, and that might give them enough momentum to take a few of the forts down that are still on the map for SK Gaming and bridge that experience gap that exists between the 2 teams. The boss is going to move in. The hard cap is going to be taken here as well. And yep, then they're gonna take it. And what about the team of SK Gaming? Can they maybe force a keep? Are they trying to backdoor here? They capture Vision and try to go for the Siege Giant camp. Zamoni now of course has to be extremely careful in that next fight. It's 19 versus 18 in levels. If there comes another hook, then yeah, hooks is what you really need to watch out for right now, especially if you are one of the DPS heroes on Team Dignitas. Nazeebo and Val have to be very careful. Nurok and Chris, that is where the game hinges upon now. They need to be careful. And the tribute spawning to the left side is giving SK an opportunity to set up their position first, but there's vision granted by Uther already, and Araragi moving away, and it looks like Dignitas is going to drive a bit of a wedge between the heroes of SK, so the movement is not the best here that we see from SK Gaming. They need to go the long way to play it safe here and catch up with Araragi again, and that's where they are right now. Here comes the interrupt, thanks to Bakery on Falstad. Vainless is moving in with Sprint, trying to get that stun in, but good reaction by Linked, making sure that he polymorphs him. Gorge already used by Araragi, it didn't do anything, so 1 heroic ability is already down. Job well done by Dignitas to forcing that out, but the mines are in position now as well. Can they actually interrupt that? Where's that Storm? Where's that Storm to interrupt that? Oh, they do don't hit it! Yeah, they hit it again. Nice, well done. And here comes the Ravenous Spirit, but Sundering capturing that out immediately. Good cancel by Zamoni on Thrall. One in goes Blood Dragon being hooked out. That saved him for a second. He's actually still alive. That saved him more than anything. And we have Thrall going down, and Uther dies as well, but the Spirit is still there, and the kill against the hammer takes most of the DPS already out of the battle. They're trying to go for Araragi here, unhorsing him already. Stitches is on the run, and he seems not to be hungry anymore. Stitches is pretty full, actually. He had his share full today already, and Araragi is gonna go down here. He kind of screwed that last fight up a bit. Not really, I guess that was just a bit of a mistake that we saw from him there. But when they were going for Muradin right over here, Araragi up at the top, tried to hit a hook, and I don't think he intended to hit Blood Dragon with a hook, but he just he pushed the dwarf in, and that actually saved Blood Dragon. It put him into the range of Sailors, who was able to heal him up once again, and of course also Uther was suddenly in range. Down here, the dwarf would have died, and that turned the fight around immediately. So Araragi with a very unlucky hook here, definitely not intended to get the dwarf in there. He wanted to have Muradin to die, and I guess he aimed for somebody else, but whatever he was doing, the coordination in this situation was a bit off. You can't really blame anybody for that, since that was a very hectic fight that we saw there, but that's of course what turned the tide of this battle in just a second. 20 versus 20 right now. We're looking at those abilities as the curse is upon SK Gaming, and Dignitas is starting that comeback now. We have Bolt of the Storm for Vala and Azebo. That's going to give them a bit more escape, and we're also seeing this time on Thrall and Stitches. Stitches can be very nasty. If he hooks Gorges and then blinks away, or just simply blinks forward and goes for a Gorge, he can do a lot of work. Oh, they might actually capture Araragi there. He's not in position, and he goes down. Oh my god, Zamoni not even able to help him out there. Oh, that was very, very unlucky positioning for Araragi again. SK might be falling apart here a bit. They've been playing a great game, especially in the early game, but right now they are starting to have trouble. They have a lot of trouble, actually. It's a 4 versus 5 for another 50 seconds, and that could lead to a boss capture by Team Dignitas. They're doing extremely well with this right now. We're having, of course, now on 20 the Divine Hurricane for Veinless, and that extra radius on his heroic ability. It's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and we could see that again. There we go once more. We already have the boss being attacked. Dignitas is gonna catch that. I mean, with Araragi in there, maybe they could rely on a hook, SK Gaming that is, but in this situation, there's just no chance for them to get that off, and it is that attempted comeback by Dignitas. They suddenly have the chance. They were playing passive and very well throughout the entire game. Now they just have to be careful. They're jumping the gun maybe a bit too much. They need to wait for the boss here to really get a maximum out of this fight, but they want to push that in, of course. There is no keep down for either team just yet, and we have them pushing with a level 21 versus 20, but those stat advantages that we see this late in the game are absolutely, they are tiny. We have 21 minutes in the hook, not hitting anything, but he would have just hooked him into the wall either way. Araragi is up there at the front, stuns out Nurok once again. Where's that heroic ability? Is Nurok gonna go for it? The boss is trying to take down the keep, and the storms of Tacita is definitely helping out. Araragi with another attempt on the hook, but there's already one wall of the dead being set to interrupt it. The hook is there, and out jumps Blood Dragon. No Gorge, another 12 seconds where Araragi doesn't have a hook. The keep goes down, and that is giving Team Dignitas a relief on the bottom lane, and of course the ability to push that in with the catapults. Araragi maybe trying for another hook. No, not just yet. They are chasing, but they won't catch anything. They won't catch anything. Top lane, that's why we're having Siege Giants pushing in the keyboard, at least trying to, but so far didn't even suffer damage. We have still the waves they're taking care of that, the minion waves, and as you can see with the entire Dignitas team now pushing or moving back, they're going to deep push the top lane. It's 9 kills against 8 right now. Looking at maybe the damage that we've seen in the game so far, if you want to have another look at that. Also the healing, of course. 63,000 already on Brightwing with 48,000 on Uther, and just look at Tacita with the shield and with the healing ward reaching 32,000 heal. The utility of this hero is just simply amazing. It's set up, designed to take one of the heroes down. They're moving in. Is there going to be a hook? Who are they getting? They're not even trying to. They're still trying to wait for an opportunity to have maybe a trap set up, and that could be the case now at the tribute that's spawning on the map. Blood Dragon moving in again, getting pushed away by the mines. It's already a bit low, but there comes the heal from Vainless on the Uther. Sailors moving in. Initiation. Who's going to be it? It's going to be Blood Dragon jumping in again for the team. What about the hook for Aragi? Heroic abilities are up for both of the teams. The tribute is there. Zamoni is just waiting, and during all that time, it's the hardcam that's being attacked by Dignitas. Something that SK doesn't really know just yet. They're just still waiting. There comes a slam against the bush, but there's nothing over there. Now the hard camp is taken. That's going to push the mid lane. Zamoni, Araragi, and the rest of the team still waiting here. They still try to get that hook, and Araragi might get it, but he's visible to the team. He's visible to everybody, thanks to Uther now, of course, with the clairvoyance. Chris is down in the mid lane, needs to go away. And here comes the blink, Gorge, but what an amazing wall of zombie. Great wall of zombie, very well done, and Araragi goes down, and in the back Nurok with a very good Ravenous Spear, but everybody is running away just in time. Rain of Vengeance against two of the heroes of SK Gaming. Linko's already down, BZ is in trouble, the rest of the team is running away, and Zamoni runs straight into a wall of zombies. He's being attacked, but works his way out of it with a quick chain lightning there. BZ on the run down to the bottom. What about Bakery and Zamoni? They're still running. Rainless is trying to maybe get one of the stuns in, and Nurok is already following him closely, but where is the Dwarf Blood Dragon? Maybe with another Storm Bolt. There comes the stun. The second one, he barrel rolls away, and Bakery just barely escaping that trap. One hero, two heroes down, and suddenly it is Team Dignitas on the way down to the bottom lane. They seem to be trying to end the game right now. Nurok, Vainless, Blood Dragon, Chris and Sailors on their way to victory, maybe, or will BZ, Zamoni and Bakery, will they be able to save that for now? The tank in position could push them back. They just can't die. Sailors is already low, and it looks like Dignitas overplayed their hand. They're moving back. They could have gone for one of the keeps, but they didn't. They tried to coy it, and they had to realize that that's just way too much for their opponent to allow that. Zamoni, is he going for Sailors? No, he just unhorses him for now. They buy some time for Stitches to be back, and also for Brightwing. Both of those back again. Only those two hero kills, but nothing of consequence has happened after this. Very, very well done by SK after those losses, and Dignitas just a bit too greedy. A little bit too greedy. That bit of greed that they had there, where they were saying like, boys, we killed you. Can we end game? And they were trying, but it was too much. There was just way too much there. And as you can see right now, it's once again the 5 versus 5. 9 kills versus 10. Boss on the map. One of them at least. And that's what the teams are currently aiming for. Araragi moving into the bush. Oh, there's already someone there. Already occupied, my friend. Sorry for that. Araragi slowed down, blinks away. And the Shinterland blast against him. Sailors moving back. Sundering being used. And down goes Vala. Very well done. Zamoni with a good move here. Gets stunned by Blood Dragon. And the wall of zombies is already there. But one hero down means, of course, free boss for SK. Those are the trades, the exchanges that you make when we have them jumping in and taking that boss down at the bot lane. Another tribute, and while SK Gaming is busy with the boss at the top, they're gonna go for tribute. The problem is that the second boss that we see here will most likely not gonna fall in time if they attack it right now, but they try. They actually try, and that is going to be a bit of a risk. Zamoni, Araragi, and BZ, they're moving down to the bot lane already. Brightwing is going to be there soon as well, and Dignitas is abandoning. Dignitas abandons the position now. Araragi is there. They see that the boss has been attacked. Yeah, back to full health, but they go straight for that. The bottom lane is being pushed. I don't think that it's going to be of any consequence to SK Gaming. It's just not enough to really push that core yet. But at the top lane, it's not only the boss that we are talking about. We're talking about boss plus Siege Giant. And this is going to fall. The keep is going to fall. There's no defending this, not even with the Shield of Tacita, as you can see. So keep down, another tribute spawning on the map, and with the time that Dignitas is going to need to deep push this top lane, it will end up in the hands of SK Gaming. They're going to move for that. The core is not going to suffer any damage, at least not any significant damage, I want to say. That boss shouldn't be able to do that much, but yep, the tribute is already being attacked, and down here, of course, with a wow, nice damage, by the way, on Blood Dragon's Stormbolt. I have to admit that by now that Stormbolt talent on level 1 is really coming to play. If you play a 26-30 minute game, then we're of course talking about quite a lot of extra damage on the Stormbolt here, and that's definitely something that he's getting. But yep, there we go again with the second boss pushing in, and this is the tricky part. Defending against boss number 2 and the team. Oh, the hook, the Gorge, Vainless. The problem is if you actually hook Uther, yes, they're going away because Uther can still use his heroic ability. Oh, nice! The Hinterland blast by Bakery drops Uther. That was a bad one. Oh, that stun though. Oh, Araragi is about to die. Well played here, really well done. And Zamoni is extremely extremely low too, but Blood Dragon might die here as well. Down goes the first. Where's that Storm Bolt? Where's that Bolt? Oh, and he gets it. Oh, linked with a blink heal. Did you see that shit? Blinked. Like, oh my god, like he blink healed away in the last second. What a great move by Brightwing there, dodging that Storm Bolt. If that bolt hits, then he goes down. And I cannot believe that Dignitas is still alive. What a game! I mean, they took 2 heroes down, defended against the boss, and only lost Uther. What a great fight by them. What these games. Guys, I have like no idea, but it's just amazing to see that. 23 versus 23 of the levels, kills 12 versus 11, and the time in the game, we're talking 28 minutes on Cursed Hollow now. We are going once again for the camps. Hard camp to the top, hard camp to the left. All of the camps now being taken. The curse, red team is being cursed, and 2 of the lanes without a keep, the bottom lane and the top lane. Those are the lanes that Dignitas has to defend now. Those are the lanes they have to depush, and those are the lanes that they will depush. They have still 96% on the core, and of course, keep in mind that with that curse, with like SK Gaming can't attack with this curse. They can't. They had only 4 heroes alive. And now with them starting to push in once more, there's only 20 seconds on the curse clock. And the problem that they have is that if at some point Dignitas captures another curse in this game, this means that they will be cursed, SK Gaming that is, and that could end the game. There's already 1 keep down at the bottom, so if you just lose 1 team fight, Dignitas is going to rush down to the bottom lane and is going to end it. But SK tries to finish the keep in the mid lane. They're trying to go for it. The curse is still active for another second. There we go, Aragi with a hook attempt. Hook, hook, hook. Not gonna use it just yet. He still has the blink, he still has the gorge up. Heroic abilities are up once more. In the last fight, especially Chris with the Rain of Vengeance came through for the team. Here comes Araragi, tries to go for the quick stun out. Is he going to go for the hook? He doesn't want the dwarf. He doesn't want Blood Dragon. That's the guy that you don't want in the midst of your team. And also the Uther. Hooking Uther is always tricky because you know that his Divine Hurricane can stun everybody out. That is also the reason why the half of the team of SK was moving away from Stitches in the last battle, and Stitches was trying to push him into a corner. Was a very good job on that. But these 2 hook targets are the tricky ones. It's actually not easy for Aragi to hook anything here. They want Vala, they want Nazebo. Everybody else has an escape or is dangerous to the team, and this is so much pressure right now. The siege is real and the keep in the middle is gone as well. So at this point, Dignitas needs to win a game. They have not a single keep. Every single lane is pushing against them. It's all about the battle right now. It's all about the fights. It's all about the opportunity to maybe win one of those team fights and turn it around here. And they won quite a few already. They won a lot of these battles. 96% on the core. 30 minutes in the game. 30 minutes already. Half an hour. That's a lot of time for a Heroes of the Storm match. 11 kills versus 12. We have Aragi in the bush. He's going to go for a hook here. Is he waiting for the team? He doesn't have the fishing hook talent. He went full slam build with this. Up to the top lane. What do we see there? 7 seconds until the boss spawns. That is where SK wants to capture that, of course. And with those heroes always threatening the lanes with Link and Araragi, there is potential for them to just like not finish the game but push the lanes in hard. And of course we have Link with a phase shift, we have Araragi with Blink. This is the reason why the 2 of them are still here at the top. The boss is being attacked, and that stale that they had, like that's just like stalling out the opponent, was great. Getting the boss, that was a big victory. A 31-minute boss, are you kidding? That guy is hitting like a truck. That's Godzilla reincarnated. I can already promise you that much. This is going to be a very, very difficult defense for Dignitas. This might be the end. This might be the end for them. They have done a great job at defending here. They were like, I mean, they were like surrounded by the Chinese wall, I want to say. They've done an extremely good job, but if they don't win a fight right now, then I don't know what's going to happen here. That boss alone could end the game. They need to right-click that into Oblivion, and they're taking the fight at the top, aren't they? No, sprint used by Vaneless. Wasted. Didn't get any stun out there, and that's exactly what SK wanted. The sprint already wasted, they have to move in, the boss is doing the damage against the core, and oh boy is he dropping that low. Blood Dragon on Muradin, he's trying to go for that, but just look at that boss going ham. Oh, the stun, but the Rain of Vengeance hitting once, not hitting twice, since Brightwing Blink heals away again. Here comes the Ravenous Spirit, the tank is down, but 20 on the core. This is GG Bakery finishing off with the Hinterland Blast, and SK Gaming wins the battle against Team Dignitas here at the Go4Heroes tournament.